to say, thank you to everyone that's online today. We're living in a little bit of a different world right now. I think quite a few people are in a remote situation. Just to give everyone a little bit of update with Computers Limited, we are functioning just fine. We have probably about 80 of our employees out of 175 that are currently remote and working from home. They're connected to the office. They're getting their job done. They're supporting our customers. And so we really have seen no disruption to our ability to service our customers day in and day out. And so just rest assured that we're here for everyone and always willing to go the extra mile. Today's presentation is really highlighting some key applications and capabilities that are now mainstream in the TIMS application. We'd like to say they're smart applications now. We're building intelligence into our application in many ways, and so this presentation really is indicative of where we're headed and where we're at right now, and the types of capabilities that our customers are really benefiting from. So as far as an agenda goes, kind of want to break it up into three areas. This move to the cloud, and then taking a look at a lot of these individual applications that are now in the wild with our customers that have built-in intelligence and built-in productivity improvements left and right. And then I want to end with business intelligence, just to give everyone an update on where we're headed and what that landscape looks like. When we take a look at the cloud, we've made some big investments in our own data center over the past probably close to 10 years here in Billings, Montana. But then we made a decision that we are going to move our cloud, so to speak, up to Microsoft. And so now we are a Microsoft cloud service provider, as well as a gold partner as well. And so we've really embraced the cloud, and Microsoft is one of our key partners to make that happen. So if you look at what's the cloud about, we're able to take TIMS, all of our TIMS applications and our solution, and run it from the cloud right up at Microsoft's Azure solution. So Azure is their cloud computing environment. They have big, massive data centers all over the world. We are primarily hosting all of our applications in the Western region, even though we could host it just about anywhere we wanted to. But it's the full suite of TIMS up in the cloud, from the core product to our advanced cylinder management, new applications like bulk, our smartphones, electronic purchasing, and our business intelligence. So we really try to create a platform approach here. And so we believe we've evolved beyond this thing called ERP. We're a platform type of a solution. Why go to the cloud? Great question. And there's lots of benefits. One, security and protection of your system. We know that Microsoft has a lot more built-in capabilities to secure and protect your environment than we do. If you're short on resources, it's minimum upfront costs. So this whole world of big upfront costs for software systems or hardware really is a thing of the past, and we've embraced that 100%. So that you have real predictable costs, per user. So as you grow your business, there's not really, you don't have to worry about, well, what's the incremental cost going to be if I add X users or I get into a given, part of our software. It's very predictable. And of course, we have all the services to back it up, from backing up your system, protecting your data, monitoring your environment, of course, upgrading our software, and also end user support. So we wrap all those services into one. It's been very successful for our customer base. Here's a little picture. We have 2,000 customers right now, 2,000 users, excuse me, that are on our cloud solution. We have 500 users that are still at our data center here in Montana. We've so far migrated up 1,500 users, which is 71 customers, up to Azure. So we have 2,000 end users right now. And so we're making really good progress on moving all of our existing customers up to Microsoft Azure. Now, that doesn't mean we don't still offer TIMS on premise. If you want to run them on your own servers, you can still do that. So our product works both on-premise and in the cloud. It's identical. There is no difference as far as the functionality or how it looks to the end user. We're growing about 30% a year as far as user adoption. So we're real happy with the progress here. We believe we have the most experience than any other competitors out there when it comes to the industrial gas space and moving industrial distributors to the cloud. Now let's move on to some highlights of TIMS, starting with smartphone applications. We've made some big investments in smartphone technologies and resources and capabilities and the whole platform to serve up native applications on Android and iOS devices. And so we've deployed these things in the fill plant, out at the dock, sales teams and drivers. And so we've had just tremendous success with these initial applications that we've developed. So if you take a look at the three applications that we have out in the wild right now, these are our smartphone applications. And what's happening is our customers are migrating from ruggedized device up to smartphone applications. So we've provided a complete migration path for everyone to go from the old ruggedized to this new smartphones, which is really a core requirement with today's generation, especially the young generation coming in. Everything is mobile. You have to have mobility built into your product. The first application we call TEP. This is a smartphone app that's used out in the field plant to do all your field plant activities, from barcoding to filling to requalifying to transferring. We have over 300 active users, 14 customers, 5 that are in the process of implementing that particular application. We have our TIMS Assistant, which has just been a runaway success. We have over 384 users, 27 customers, and another 4 that are, again, ready to go live with this thing. And this has been just a massive win for the sales force, as well as your dock operations, servicing customer right at your dock. And then last is our delivery application. And this one is really geared for your drivers. We have over 475 active users today, 15 customers, and another 11 that are in the process of going live with this. So this has been just a phenomenal success all across the board, inside and outside the organization. I'm going to focus in on the Assistant and the Delivery app in this presentation today. I think also, please remember, we are willing to do deep dives on any of these applications that I covered today. There's only so much we can cover in 1 hour. It's really designed to just build awareness of what's capable in TIMS and what we're doing for our customers. So if we take a look at TIMS Assistant is all about mobile productivity. And there's a lot of great things that it can do. One, it's going to let your sales force stay out in the field where they belong and make more sales. They can do all types of great things with this application that they used to have to come back into the office to do, or crack open a laptop and try and establish a remote connection. Now they can just break out the smartphone app, create orders, look up pricing. It can be used to do hotshot deliveries. Okay, so the salesperson can deliver product if need be. They have full access to customer account information. So if they want to look at how much they owe, the cylinders in their possession, what have they bought in the past, what pricing contracts have been set up. We've also added the ability to do prospects. Okay, so TIMS now has the capability to maintain a whole repository for managing your prospects and your pipelines. Service at the dock. This is another great application of TIMS Assistant. And your customers typically, sometimes they're going to pull up to your dock and return cylinders, or they're going to return cylinders and they want to be able to go into the main shop to buy more product. You can do all of this now with TIMS Assistant. So you can process that cylinder return at the dock. You can use a credit card to take payment. And if you look at what's going on this past week, we saw more and more of this type of activity happening. More and more distributors saying we have curbside pickup available. Okay, that's great. I think that's really what we want to be doing in this day and age of COVID and trying to minimize that spread. Our customers, if you're on version 7, you can use TIMS Assistant to handle that entire process at the curb. You can service your customer at the curb so they're not coming into your facility. You can do the entire transaction on TIMS delivery, or excuse me, TIMS Assistant, so that you can take payment, get a signature, scan cylinders, get pricing, take the credit card payment, all at the curb. And so I just want to have a call out for that feature. You can use TIMS Assistant is also great to be able to measure productivity. So what are our salespeople doing out in the field? How many orders have they created? How many interactions are they having? How are they spending their time? So when we take a look at some of the feedback that we've gotten from our customers, we've gotten great feedback in a lot of different ways. For complete welders, it's been a game changer. And so instead of having to call into the office, the sales reps can just get their smartphone out and look up that information very quickly. And so there's no more calling into the office. And that's reduced that whole call volume tremendously for them. Now the salesperson can get the job done quicker with the smartphone. Ilmo, they were using Salesforce. Now they're using TIMS Assistant. Salesforce was just too much of a product. TIMS Assistant is very simple. And some of their oldest salespeople have taken to it quite nicely. They think it's great. So now they have all that information before they walk in and go visit a customer. And Helget is using it to really manage and analyze interactions. How productive are our sales force with customers and prospects, because they can record the interactions that take place. They can measure the activity and the productivity of the sales force. So these are just a few of many stories that are being told on the success of TIMS Assistant. Let's switch now to TIMS Delivery, another application. And this smartphone application is for the driver, and it's also been very, very successful. I'm just going to call out some of the highlights here of the capabilities, but this application can be used to make deliveries on your cylinders, whether you are barcoding or doing balance forward. You can use it to do bulk deliveries. You can use it to make deliveries of your rental equipment, your hard goods. You can even do a non-stock delivery here. So this is a full-featured application. We have GPS built into it. So we built in the intelligence to track the truck, wherever it goes and wherever it's been. We can, when we scan or make the delivery of the asset, we are geocoding and timestamping that information, as well as we can snap the geotag of the actual shipping address. Okay, so if you have to make deliveries around the side of the building, you can update the shipping address to that exact location. Activity-based costing has always been something that I think the industry talks a lot about. And now, because of the intelligence that's available with TIMS Delivery, we can now measure miles driven between each stop in the overall route. How long does it take to service a customer? And then all this activity is taking place in real time. So the status updates are coming back real time back to TIMS. Okay, so here's a great way to be able to say, gee, are we charging enough for our delivery fees based upon how much time it takes to make a deliver? How many miles are we driving on average to make this delivery? These are real powerful activities that you can now measure and monitor so that you can really get a handle on what is your true delivery cost. And then last, a mobile point of sale. So TIMS Delivery, just not for delivering. You can create orders on the fly. We have real-time connectivity back to TIMS so that when you're scanning cylinders or adding items onto the order, we are pricing that thing out full. Okay, so there's no guessing about what is the total cost of this delivery. That enables you to take payment, credit card, right on the spot. Okay, so we have an integrated credit card solution in TIMS. What we've done is just extended that functionality out to the mobile device. And of course, the electronic proof goes right back to TIMS into our dock management solution, which is also just deeply embedded in TIMS. So it's just not delivery, it's also can be considered your point of sale system. One thing that we did do new with the delivery application, we rebuilt the functionality for truck inventory. We've had it before on the old ruggedized device, but we took it to a whole new level this time. Now we have true truck perpetual inventory. We know, and of course, are validating everything that gets loaded, shipped, returned, unloaded, reconciled, but we're also now maintaining the inventory of your cylinders, fulls and empties, rentals, hard goods. So anything you load on or take off, we have complete visibility. We're also updating delivery statuses. So if the driver has five stops, every time they make a stop, we are updating that delivery status on the device, which goes back to TIMS. So the driver has complete visibility into how many more stops do I have? What do I have for product on the truck? Maybe there's an opportunity to make another delivery. Now they have the information to be able to make those decisions. And of course, we have more historical analysis, so you can really get a handle on, are we really optimizing our trucks? Are we fully utilizing them? Are we overloading them? So there's a lot of great information that is now built into these applications. We've had a lot of success stories so far with TIMS delivery. Our customers are saying this application is easier to use than the old ruggedized device. It's quicker for people to get trained. It's less forgiving. It's easier to use. So we think that we've really hit the mark here with our customers. Recently, here's a really great success story. We're also able to do a quick rollout of TIMS delivery here. And here's an example. One of our customers, Nexair, had bought a company called Life Gas from Lindy last year. And about a month ago, we partnered with them to roll this thing out in record time, to that acquisition. So they were able to roll out TIMS delivery to 69 drivers in 18 branches in a day. And we did this because of our partnership approach with our customers. It was a real team-based approach, and we made it happen. And so this is a great success story that we told, and now they're using this even more than the 69 drivers, and everything is barcoded, and they're scanning their ships and returns by the thousands every single day. So a shout out to our friends at Nexair and also to the team at CU to make this happen. Just phenomenal success. Now, if we take a look at another real key thing today is scheduling and routing of deliveries, and especially given the driver shortage that's taking place. And it's just something that every distributor has to be mindful of. And so what we've done is said, well, how do we make them real productive? How do we provide tools to the distributor so that they have only the minimum number of trucks necessary to get the job done? They don't have any excess capacity, which means excess labor costs. And so we have two ways to handle this. We have about 9 customers on each one of these products, 9 on our own TIMS scheduler to do all the routing and logistics. Then we have another 9 customers that are on RoadNet. And RoadNet, again, is a third-party, real powerful route and logistics solution. We have the best, richest interface on the market today with that product. The data that gets created in TIMS seamlessly flows to RoadNet, down to the mobile device and back. It's just been a great hit for our customers that have that additional requirement for advanced logistics. For those that don't, we have our standard TIMS scheduler, which works great too. So either product that you're using, the flow of information is in real time now, from the mobile delivery device to the routing and logistics solution back to TIMS. Okay, so if I'm a scheduler, if I need to quickly route another delivery to another device, I can do it in seconds. I can schedule it in TIMS scheduler. It automatically gets synchronized with the mobile device. If I have to change and move that delivery from one delivery driver to another, I can do so, and the driver doesn't have to worry about doing anything. The information automatically gets uploaded or downloaded from their device, and a little voice message comes on that indicates if stops were added or taken off from their mobile device. So this is real-time information, and it's just been a fantastic improvement to the product. Now, also with the real-time updates, our scheduling application is now more dynamic. Before we had smartphones, typically you're not going to know where the driver's at or how many stops have they made until you either call them up or they get back at the end of the day. So there's a lot of, they become kind of invisible out in the field. But with our smartphone applications, now we have great interactivity with mapping within our scheduler. Okay, so here's an example of 4 stops that I've scheduled for the day. But now with the addition of smartphone technology in TIMS delivery, we can take it to a whole new level. Now we can actually see where the truck's at in real time. We can see exactly the path that they've taken, as indicated here with the green dots. The red line is what the route they're supposed to take for optimization. Obviously, they're not following the rules here. Okay, so I have complete visibility as a dispatcher into this. Now, we also are doing real-time updates back to the scheduler so that your scheduling resources, or anyone in the company for that matter, has complete visibility into where is this driver at right now on their route of deliveries for the day. So much more intelligent and smarts built in. So where are we going next with smartphones? Here's what we're going to do. And it's already in process where we've already started to build out the application. And now it's just a question of getting things completed with it. We have our TIMS application, TIMS Assistant application. We have our TIMS Plant application. We are now starting to build in functionality for warehouse operations. For example, physical inventory. Okay, that's in process right now. But we took a step back. We said, we want to create just one application to do all these things instead of 3 applications. And so that's exactly what we've done. It's called TIMS Mobile. It's a new mobile application that combines multiple applications down into one. This is going to make it easier for the customer in order to manage their users. Now we built in a lot of configuration into TIMS Mobile so that you have complete control as far as what every single user is able to do. Okay, it's kind of like being on TIMS. You have you can authorize someone to do one thing or 100 things. This is the same approach that we're taking with mobile. So that's mobile applications. Real successful. We're real excited about the uptake, and we have a great group that's just cranking out new features every release, which is every quarter. So let's switch gears to some applications back on the main TIMS platform that we built out over the last year or two. They're interactive, they're smart, there's intelligence built into these things. So what am I talking about? Well, first we have one that's called cylinder fill production, and this is all for the fill plant operator to make smarter decisions about filling cylinders. A second application we developed is called AR collections. Okay, it's what we call our AR work lists. This replaces AR reports 100%. And then last, we have what we call contract price management. And this is a great tool to streamline and update contract price updates. The beauty behind these applications is your users are able to work in one application to get more done in less time. So these 3 applications are examples of the types of products that we're now developing in the TIMS system. Okay, so we really are mindful about, let's try and have an application that does everything that user needs to do, so they don't have to hop around to multiple screens or multiple modules. We're really trying to minimize that. So if we want to start out with cylinder fill production, again, this is an application that helps you make smarter fill plant discussion, smarter fill production decisions, as well as stocking decisions. Okay, so it's kind of a twofold thing. You got to know how much to fill, but you also have to understand, well, what's the stocking requirements at that location level? So we developed this application. You have complete control over your fill production and your inventory. You're able to forecast how many cylinders do we need to fill to handle demand, as well as control cylinders at that location level. We've had questions of, well, does this require that I have to barcode my cylinders? And the answer is no. It works with both ACM and non-ACM cylinders. So you have the complete flexibility to determine how narrow or how broad you want to apply cylinders to the production process. Okay, and then also we have capabilities to handle stocking levels. So it's just, think about like what we've done with hard goods and the inventory control that's available there. We took the same concept, made sure we were specific with the requirements of cylinders, and built that capability out. So now if you take a look at TIMS, we've expanded the inventory file, the inventory management system, so that you can store more cylinder related information in TIMS. For example, size, valve requirement, is this gas item, to be considered part of production or not? Do we control quantities and back ordering capabilities? And then we have the replenishment side of cylinders within the inventory. How often do they get replenished? What method of purchasing are we going to use? For example, days sales out or supply out, a min-max level. Do we need to worry about safety stock levels? So think of what we did with hard goods as far as the rich forecasting and purchasing methods. We applied that same concept here with cylinders. At the end of the day, it's all about optimizing your cylinder stock levels at each location, and that's what this application does. So real quick here, here's what the application looks like. I'm able to put in my parameters, my forecasted date, and then I run it, and then it's going to say, here's how many cylinders you have available by gas item. Here's how many we suggest you fill. But then as you're filling cylinders, we're able to update this information so that you have a better idea of where you stand within a production run of how close are we to be completed. Okay, and again, we're looking at demand from orders and stock. Okay, so we're really taking a holistic look at maximizing fill plant production productivity. Here's a screen where at the branch level, you have the ability to scan cylinders at that branch level. So if you have a branch manager that's responsible for replenishment of their own cylinders, this is a great tool that allows them to be able to scan, to be able to look at their inventory location of cylinders. In this case, I'm looking at location 2, and I have 3 gas items that have come up to be replenished. One of them says I need to replenish a quantity of 205. The branch manager can review this, or even someone centrally back at the main fill plant location can run this. Okay, so this is very similar to automated purchasing for hard goods within TIMS. It's the same concept. Now we just applied it to cylinders replenishment. So once the branch manager is able to place their order, it's just a single click of a button to be able to create a transfer order and a picking ticket. So we've really thought long and hard about how do we really build out a complete end-to-end solution for cylinder production and replenishment and inventory. Once you've identified everything that you need to fill, we do have what we call these production plans that can be printed out or emailed, okay? And that's our phase 1, and that's available today. Phase 2 is we want to take this information and put it into a dashboard, okay? So, and then a dashboard, what we want to be able to do is we want to have this dashboard to be available on any device. So whether you want to look at your production information on a smartphone, a tablet, at your desktop, or put the big screen out in the fill plant so that you have complete visibility into how close are we done with this production run. It's all at your fingertips now. So what we've done here is we've done some initial prototyping of technology to be able to push this information out onto these devices and form factors. So we have the proof of concept all completed, and now we're in the programming phase. So this will come out later this year, but we have a solution today in the form of email and reports, and then we're going to be moving to incorporate dashboards here going forward. So we're real excited about this. If we take a look at another area that's important today, especially with what's going on in the economy right now, it's so important to maintain control over your collections, your cash coming into the organization. And so we developed an application over the past year to really help out with the collection processes. And so, when we take a look at some of the challenges with old methods of collections, it's manual. People were using reports. There was, the process to document what someone did was manual, or if anything, maybe it wasn't even done. There's no analytics, so you have very little insight into how effective are our resources collecting money. And then so typically a supervisor, they're spending a lot of their time just generating the information as opposed to maybe more analytics or targeting of specific accounts. So what we did was we developed an AR collections work list to tackle all these challenges. And it's a customized real-time smart application that really replaces reports and processes. And everything is now logged and categorized in the application itself. So here's a little bit what that looks like. The power behind this is you have the ability to set up your own what we call work lists, where you can identify a part of your AR that you want to work. And this could be different variables. Maybe you want to work based upon certain dollar amounts, or the last time someone, we called a customer to collect for money. Maybe it's an AR work list that you just want to target cylinder rental, okay? Or I can create a work list that just is looking at a given salesperson's account, and I can just work that AR independently. So you have the ability to create these work lists, and then as you create the work lists, you can then dive down into each account to review their account, see all the invoices that they owe, the dollar amounts, what the status is, have they made any payments on the account. But then we can take it a step further, because now we allow you to do multiple actions. For example, if I need to do a write-off, I can do that. If I need to generate forms to send out to the customer, I can do that on the fly here. Okay, so everything gets documented, everything gets logged, so you have this great analytics at your disposal. Now, some of our early adopters, last week we had our steering committee meeting with some of our key customers, and so we asked them for some feedback on some of these new applications that they helped us develop, gave us guidance, and then are now using. And it's been great feedback so far. So when we take a look at our AR work lists, Helget has had just great success with it. They've said it's taken it to a whole new level. ROI was right there with it. They like the fact that they can use one application instead of multiple to get the job done. And it's interesting, they are using this, with email. So they're emailing the customer all the necessary information to do collections instead of calling them on the phone. And so what they have found was they can handle 25 accounts in the same amount of time that it used to take dealing with one account by a phone call. Okay, so huge, massive productivity gains with this product. Complete Welders, they like the fact that you can create these unique work lists so they can target different parts of the AR. In their case, they like to be able to keep a close handle on cylinder rental invoices that just tip over an overdue period. What they've discovered was if you're slow paying rent, there's probably a cylinder dispute. And here's a great way to discover that. Ilmo, they were able to get this thing set up the first part of the week, get the work list built, and by the end of the week, they were training their people and they were using the product. So this is a product that you can get up and run fairly quickly, okay? So it's just a great tool, and we've had great success with it so far, and the feedback has just been phenomenal. Now, if we take a look at another application, another smart application we've developed, again, new look and feel, one application to kind of do everything that user needs to do. This one's called Contract Campaign Manager, and we're able to develop this application so that it's easier to do contract price updates. You can do them on your own in less time than what you've ever done before. You can use this with gases, cylinder rental rates, and hard goods. Okay, so we took a very holistic approach to this. Here's here's a little bit of a screenshot. And again, the new look and feel will present a lot of great rich information. With Contract Campaign Manager, you'd identify what contracts you want to update. You can say, well, I want to make a certain dollar amount when I do a price increase. So we're able to forecast the financial impact of a rate increase with extreme accuracy. Your team is able to review all the contracts that have to be updated. So here's a great way to involve your entire sales organization to be part of the solution, because their efforts can have a real impact on meeting those targets. The update is very quick. If you want to use Excel, you can export this information, review it, and bring it right back into the application for management review. So once you do work a campaign, when you're all ready to complete it, we just have a single little click here and you can publish the rate increases. So again, self-contained application. And the feedback's been great so far. Helget, they've had some huge productivity gains. It used to take 5 people to do price updates. Now it takes 1. Complete welders, they like the ability to be able to export this into Excel for additional analytics, and then they can upload those results right back into the application. And there's greater participation. So because everyone understands now, they can see exactly what's going to be the impact of our decisions financially. And then last with Ilmo, they implemented this not too long ago, and they had phenomenal reviews from their pricing manager. They said this was one of the easiest ones ever. This was the easiest price increase ever that we've done. So I think we have home run hits here with these new applications. And last, Industrial Source, they had some really good information. It used to take 40 hours, one person 40 hours a week to be able to implement a price increase. Now they can do that in the same process in 2 hours. So it's gone from 40 hours down to 2 hours to implement a price increase. Another area that we're seeing more and more interest in is with our Bulk Gas Manager application. And we've done a lot of great work over the past year too. We've taken a real holistic look at this, where we're managing all the tank installations. We have integration with routing and logistics, and then these bulk deliveries can be processed with TIMS delivery, the smartphone. Okay, so we're really trying to take a holistic approach to these types of business processes. We just don't want to think about the management of the tank. We also got to figure out, when you figure out what to fill, we have to then integrate with our logistics. And then with logistics, we have to integrate with our mobile application. So we have an end-to-end solution. Green CO2 has had phenomenal results with the products. We've analyzed, we've published this before. They're estimating first year savings of 150,000. They're able to average pounds per delivery increased by 26. So they're delivering more, and the number of deliveries has decreased. So they're making fewer deliveries, but higher amounts of product being delivered. And so that's what has helped driving that bottom line savings. Telemetry, we have 3 telemetry providers right now that we've integrated with: Innova, which is Data Online, SilConnect, and Weiss. And so we're working with a few others. We really have taken an open platform approach to this, so that as we bring on additional telemetry providers, our customers have the peace of mind that all of them will work with TIMS. Okay, so you may have a mixture of devices that you use within your business. We can handle all of them. All of them, at the end of the day, will weave down as far as the telemetry reading information back into the TIMS Bulk Gas Manager. Okay, so if you take a look at a real big picture of what TIMS is all about today, it's more than ERP. It's about a platform. And if you take a look at all the areas that we're now hitting end to end, I think it tells a real great story. ACM for barcode, cylinder barcode tracking, if you want to get into that. Of course, we've had our cylinder gas rental capabilities that we've enhanced over the years. We have new capabilities with bulk gas management. Standard de facto now is smartphones, and so all of our new applications are smartphone based. We have logistics built in, but also integrated with RoadNet. Our new applications to give you better control over filling cylinders and maintaining proper stocking levels is now available with our Cypher application. To manage the important process of price increases with your cylinder rental and your gas contracts, we handle that now. And then as far as keeping a close eye on your cash, AR work lists to be able to slice and dice your AR by any means you want has just been a home run hit for our customers. And kind of the last thing I wanted to visit with is just where we stand with our business intelligence activities. And there's tons of reports and analytics and tools that we've developed over the years for TIMS, from cubes to diver to SSRS reports, Excel, and a lot of those things will continue on with the application. But really what we've been doing is really focused in on the Microsoft Power BI Pro platform. And we've had a couple missed starts. in part because of scaling issues that we came across, and also just technology changes on Microsoft's part, which they've made over the past 6 months. And so we really took a step back. We brought in a couple of real, high-end consultants who just live and breathe this stuff to help give us some guidance and some training and some insight. And we feel like we have a real good game plan that we have now in front of us. And so I don't have anything to show today, but we believe within the May-June timeframe, we're going to have another webinar that's just going to be around these new capabilities that we're building into TIMS on the Power BI Pro platform. But what we've done is we're able to take information from TIMS, transform it, be able to move it up to Azure, where you can analyze it left and right with Power BI Pro. Okay, so that's where we're taking our intelligence, our business intelligence, and we're excited to show you what that looks like and what those capabilities are here in about another month or two. And that concludes my presentation. I think we definitely want to try and take questions. If we can't get to all the questions, we definitely will get back in touch with everyone. If there's anything that you want to see more of, a deeper dive on any of these applications that I showed today, you can contact me, Tracy Hunt, who's in our inside sales, or Doug Iverson, who's the director of our sales and marketing. Any three of us would be more than happy to help. A lot of these applications we can do deep dives on that take a couple hours to show the real power and the flexibility of these tools. So we'd be more than happy to spend more time with anyone, whether customer, of course, or prospect.